I'm coming on here to give my TNA Final Resolution 2009 pay-per-view preview and predictions. But before I get into my preview and predictions for TNA's pay-per-view tomorrow night, just want to give a little quick plug to the Ring of Honor pay-per-view Final Battle 2009 that's going to be airing on GoFightLive.tv. If you're a Ring of Honor fan, I'm pretty sure that a lot of us have already purchased this pay-per-view. But if you happen to, just hear of Ring of Honor, hear a lot of good things about it, and want to check it out, this is probably your best way to check it out. And this is actually going to be a live pay-per-view. This is going to be the closest thing that we have to a Ring of Honor live pay-per-view. Is Ring of Honor is going to be streaming the pay-per-view on GoFightLive.tv, and the price of the pay-per-view is only $14.95. So definitely, if you got the $15, and say if you're fed up with what the mainstream companies TNA and WWE is giving you, and you want to see a different type of wrestling organization, you need to see Ring of Honor. If you like the in-ring athleticism, if you like that in-ring product over anything else, and you don't, and you're not a fan just because of wrestling, just because of glitz and glamour, Ring of Honor is for you. So check out Ring of Honor Final Battle 2009 is going to be on GoFightLive.tv. I'll put the link for GoFightLive.tv in the description, and I'll put the link for the Final Battle 2009 pay-per-view as well, where you can purchase the pay-per-view as well if you haven't already done so. So it's definitely worth seeing it, and you'll probably be seeing two videos of me today. This video right here, give my Final Resolution 2009 pay-per-view predictions, and probably my Final Battle 2009 pay-per-view review. I'll probably do it a little after the pay-per-view. If I don't, most likely I am going to do it tonight, but just in case you don't see a review from me tonight, I'll probably at least do it as the latest, probably early tomorrow, but I'm expecting to probably do it tonight. Now, let me get into my Final Resolution 2009 pay-per-view predictions. The first match will be the 8-man elimination tag. It'll be Team 3D, Rhino, and Jesse Neal versus the Pope D'Angelo De Niro, Matt Morgan, Hernandez, and Suicide. And this match, in this feud with these with all of them, has been going on for a little bit. It's been at least decent at best, but it's one of those type of feuds that should probably just be settled in Impact. I don't think it's pay-per-view worthy, but there are some, you could possibly see some good stuff in here. Rhino's actually been doing pretty decent as of late. Team 3D, probably the most interest I had in them in a little while, and I like D'Angelo De Niro, aka Elijah Burke, a lot. Suicide, even though I hate the gimmick. And I want to see Kaz as himself. This is the best he's ever gotten over, so I understand why they're keeping that gimmick going. It should be a decent match, probably a decent match at best. And I see the Pope D'Angelo De Niro, Matt Morgan, Hernandez, and Suicide going over and picking up the victory in this 8-man elimination tag. Then the next matchup, which this match might be the opener. If this isn't the opener, probably the 8-man tag will be the 8-man elimination tag will be the opener. And this is the Feast or Fired match. Now, this is something that it's kind of interesting of an idea, but it's one of those things that TNA, just when they do this type of match, it always ends up being a complete clusterfuck, and I think that's what we're going to be seeing tomorrow. And the one major complaint that's not even with the match is the whole thing with the briefcases. They expect people to order the pay-per-view. You expect with the pay-per-view you're going to get, winners and losers in every single match, and you're going to see everything and not have to, oh, by the way, even though we did this match at this pay-per-view, you're going to have to wait till the upcoming Impacts to see actually who gets what in the briefcases, which is an idiotic decision. Now, I understand, TNA wants to try to, do anything to try to get people to tune into Impact, and that's kind of something, but it's something they should just do on the pay-per-view, and just, see who gets the world title briefcase, who gets the X Division Tag Team briefcase, the tag team one, and the pink slip. And I expect the pink slip to go to Homicide in this match, whether it's going to be storyline or he's actually going to be gone from the company. Don't know at this point, but I'm just going with Homicide just because I think he'd be the one to possibly get it, just because of the storyline they've been doing with him. And he'll either, they'll do a storyline fired angle with him, or he actually will finally get what he wants from TNA, and that is his release from TNA. So it's either going to be storyline or real. We'll just have to wait and see if that is what happens tomorrow with him getting the pink slip, or actually, when we find out on the TNA Impact coming up on Thursday. And I expect Samoa Joe to get the world title briefcase. beer money to get the tag team briefcase. And as far as the X Division briefcase, I was going to say Jay Lethal at first, but for some reason or another, I see Erick Young getting the X Division briefcase. That's the way I see that going on in that match. And most likely it's going to be a complete clusterfuck like it always is. Then the next matchup will be Terra versus ODB in a Knockouts title match. Now, they need to just get this title off of ODB. It's just getting very boring with her as Knockouts champion, and I'm pretty sure Terra will pick up the one in this match, become the Knockouts champion, and then maybe we'll see a feud with Terra versus Awesome Kong for the Knockouts title, which when they did that feud and they did the cage match and they built that all up, that should have been for the Knockouts title, not just, a feud between the two. It should have been actually for the Knockouts title, and I think they'll actually have Terra win the title here, and then maybe we'll see a feud with Terra versus Awesome Kong for the Knockouts title, and if it's booked right, they could have a very, very good feud for the Knockouts title. Then the next matchup will be the Motor City Machine Guns of Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin versus British Invasion for the TNA World Tag Team Championships. Now, they've been putting the Motor City Machine Guns in these tag team title matches as of late, and it looks like, they keep getting very close to picking up the victory, and I think on this pay-per-view, they're going to finally give the TNA Tag Team Championships to the Motor City Machine Guns. Then the next matchup, this match kind of long with the 8-man tag elimination match. It's probably one of those matches, especially this match, I don't think is really pay-per-view worthy. This is the challenge match with Raven and Dr. Stevie versus Abyss and Mick Foley. Not expecting much from this match at all. Expecting Abyss and Mick Foley to pick up the victory in this challenge match. Then the next matchup will be Bobby Lashley versus Scott Steiner in a last man standing match. Now, this match, at best, I'm expecting it to be a watchable match. It might at least be a watchable match, and that's at best. Hopefully it doesn't drag on and stuff, but with a last man standing match, they're probably going to get at least 10 to 15 minutes for the match, unless they do something, unless they end it very quick, which I highly doubt they will. Since Bobby Lashley, signed with Strikeforce, and he's got an MMA fights coming up, it's going to make him look very bad if he loses this match in a last man standing match, because it's going to be kind of like you got KO'd in a wrestling match, even though it's all scripted and stuff. Still, it's going to make him look pretty bad in the MMA world if he loses a last man standing match, or if he loses any match, which I didn't expect him to lose any match in TNA, and he did lose to Scott Steiner last month. So this month I'm expecting Bobby Lashley to get his revenge, and Bobby Lashley to pick up the victory in this last man standing match. Hopefully it doesn't drag on. Then the next matchup, which the two main events of this pay-per-view is going to be the reason why I'm checking this pay-per-view out. And I'm expecting this pay-per-view to kind of be like the Turning Point pay-per-view, where the undercard looks very, very weak, but you got two excellent main events, which could be, make this event as good as Turning Point was, which that was the main reason why Turning Point was good, was because the two main events and the undercard was pretty weak. And like I said, that's what I see happen on this pay-per-view. Now, the first of the main events will be Kurt Angle versus Desmond Wolfe, a.k.a. Nigel McGuinness, and the 3 Degrees of Pain match. Now, this is kind of like their form of WWE's 3 Stages of Hell, 2 out of 3 falls match. Now, the first fall is going to be pinfall, second fall, submission, third fall, if necessary, will be decided in a cage. And obviously, all these matches, when they do 2 out of 3 falls, they always go to the third fall, and I highly doubt they'll do something where they'll have Angle win 2 falls and go over Nigel very quick like that. And this match probably will be given a good amount of time. I'm hoping at least to give a good amount of time, because 2 out of 3 falls matches in these gimmick matches that they got involved in here, the first match is regular, then submission, then cage. You're going to have to at least give this match, at the least, to pull off a great match with these two, at least 30 to 35 minutes, if not close to 40 minutes, because they're going to definitely need some time with this. Now, what I expect going on in this match, I expect Nigel to get the first fall. He'll probably win by some shady means or another, maybe have his foot on the rope and the referee doesn't see it, or he'll either roll up Kurt Angle and hold on to his tights and pick up the first fall that way. Kurt Angle, I'm pretty sure, is going to win the submission portion of the second fall. Then the third fall in the cage, since it's escape, Nigel can just pretty much just run out the cage, get out, as quick as he wants to, and, do something like that, and Nigel picks up the victory. Because I actually see with this, because they kind of got it in a way where Nigel, he can win the first fall, he can win in shady means or another. Then in the cage match, doesn't have to pin Kurt Angle, he can just escape the cage, and that's what I see happening with Nigel McGuinness, aka Desmond Wolfe, winning in some shady means or another and be able to defeat Kurt Angle on this pay-per-view. And maybe we'll see another match at their next pay-per-view, or who knows, we'll just have to wait and see. But I expect these two to put on a very good match yet again, with Nigel picking the victory up, like I said. But then the main event, which is probably one of the feuds of this decade that I've enjoyed the most, and it's Daniels versus AJ Styles for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Now, I don't know how many times I've seen these two against each other. Every time they're against each other, they put on incredible matches. Now, these two probably, within this decade, if there's like a feud of the decade that's been lasting ever since the beginning of the decade, it's this feud. I mean, they've been, in probably almost every single independent company, they took on each other several times in TNA, and, finally we're seeing it for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, which is great to see. Now, I wouldn't mind seeing Daniels win, but I know it's not going to happen. AJ Styles will retain the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, and this should be a very, very good match. And like I said, with the last two main events, this pay-per-view overall should be good, mainly because of those two matches. And that's it for my TNA Final Resolution 2009 pay-per-view predictions. Like I said, order Ring of Honor Final Battle 2009 on GoFightLive.tv. Like I said, I'll have the links in the description for GoFightLive.tv, and I'll put the link in the description for Final Battle 2009. If you haven't ordered the pay-per-view, I definitely would recommend it to anyone that's, just a little familiar with Ring of Honor, want to give Ring of Honor a try. Check this pay-per-view out tonight. You're definitely going to get your money's worth, and it's going to be a great pay-per-view. Possibly could be one of the best pay-per-views of this year. It's a very stacked card. Hopefully, with this pay-per-view tonight, we'll see Tyler Black finally win the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship, which is, overdue for him. Now, it's almost to the point where he's kind of like when Samoa Joe won the title, where it's almost a little too late, but they need to do it. It's better to do it now than not to do it at all, especially with this pay-per-view being a live pay-per-view, and the way the crowd will react with him winning the title, I think will be pretty good. And the way they got it booked looks like, it could go either way, even though most people, it's kind of predictable Tyler Black is going to walk out as champion. Still, they can book the match in a certain way where it looks like Tyler Black will not be able to pick the victory up, and it should be a great pay-per-view tonight. Like I said, probably will be doing my Ring of Honor Final Battle 2009 pay-per-view review later on tonight. And yeah, that's it. Peace. The in-ring athleticism, if you like that in-ring product over anything else, and you don't, and you're not a fan just because of wrestling, just because the glitz and glamour Ring of Honor is for you. So check out Ring of Honor Final Battle 2009. It's going to be on GoFightLive.tv. I'll put the link for GoFightLive.tv in the description, and I'll put the link for the Final Battle 2009 pay-per-view as well, where you can purchase the pay-per-view as well if you haven't already done so. So it's definitely worth seeing it, and you'll probably be seeing two videos of me today. This video right here, give my Final Resolution 2009 pay-per-view predictions, and probably my fan. I'm pretty sure that a lot of us have already purchased this pay-per-view, but if you happen to, just hear of Ring of Honor, hear a lot of good things about it, and want to check it out, this is probably your best way to check it out. And this is actually going to be a live pay-per-view. This is going to be the closest thing that we have to a Ring of Honor live pay-per-view. Is Ring of Honor is going to be streaming the pay-per-view on GoFightLive.tv, and the price of the pay-per-view is only $14.95. So definitely, if you got the $15, and say if you're fed up with what the mainstream companies TNA and WWE is giving you, and you want to see a different type of wrestling organization, you need to see Ring of Honor. If you like, I'm coming on here to give my TNA Final Resolution 2009 pay-per-view preview and predictions. But before I get into my preview and predictions for TNA's pay-per-view tomorrow night, just want to give a little quick plug to the Ring of Honor pay-per-view Final Battle 2009 that's going to be airing on GoFightLive.tv. If you're a Ring of Honor